welcome to a special FCS live broadcast of an exhibition between Ole Futsal Club and Lansing City. These two sides had a pair of tight matchups during the regular season that thrilled the fans. Lansing came up short in both contests, but since has been hard at work in the offseason. Making appearances in both FCS tours, new faces have been trialed and tested. Players and fans alike will be excited for this matchup ahead of a national showcase later this month. Defending champions Ole have stayed active in their own right. The city of Grand Rapids has been a futsal hotspot for a long time, and the culture was further solidified when it was announced they'd host a national ID camp for USYF. With this backdrop and a brand new crest, Ole is looking to showcase their talent to a youthful audience. They'll be getting crucial touches ahead of the national showcase. Can these two teams inspire a future generation of futsal players? Will this match be a preview of what's ahead just 10 days away? Find out as Ole Futsal Club hosts Lansing City now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grand Rapids, Michigan. We are here for a very special FCS Exhibition matchup between Lansing City and Ole Futsal Club. I'm Jared Klepp along with Gerard Iscani. Gerard, what are you excited for tonight here at the MSA Sports Spot?
Well, you just look around here and the atmosphere is electric, not just because of the matchup, but because of the fans. It's wild out here. We got to have 600-700 people here tonight.
Well, Lansing City coming off of the tours. They had performances they weren't hoping for as far as the outcome. What are you looking for them on the court tonight?
Well, again, one of the reasons that we didn't see the outcome that we wanted out of Lansing City in the tours is because they have some new players they're integrating. So one of those players is Rafael Hernandez, so we're seeing him again on loan from Chicago House. And this is one of the first times ever, I think, in Lansing City history that I'm not seeing Jeremy Klepp start for them. So that's going to be a big change.
Well, we are just about to have the national anthem, so we're going to send you down to PA, and we'll be right back.
Thank you everybody for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Jared Klepp, Gerard Iscani bringing you this matchup. Lansing City almost said Lansing City football. I'm in USL2 mode. Lansing City taking on Ole Futsal Club. What are you excited for in this one, Gerard?
Well, so this is the first time we're seeing Ole Futsal Club in action, and so previously known as Grand Rapids Ole. But check it out, new logo, new team. Not really. This is the same team. They got a lot of the same players from last season, so it's going to be exciting. One of the things that we're really looking forward to tonight is seeing the way that Ole plays. It has been a couple of months now since we last saw them in action with the FCS when they won the championship last season. And what a great preview that we have in store for the National Showcase happening in just over a week in Lansing City. One notable absence for Ole Futsal Club tonight is Sammy Esquivel. He is injured, and so we are going to miss his presence tonight. And who is going to step up in his absence? And, you know, if you know anything about Ole, one of the biggest things for them is how many different players they have that can step up. So really, it's any number of players that can fill the shoes of Sammy Esquivel tonight. As we get action underway, we got the starting lineup for Ole Futsal Club. Johan Vasquez, Cesar Alayo, Jair Real, and Aaron Gomez. And like we talked about, we got our first foul on Rafael Hernandez. Cesar Alayo draws that foul. The big news today for Lansing City, this is a match in which Jeremy Kleppel's not starting. And you have to think this has so much to do with the youth movement at Lansing City. So not only do we have Rafael Hernandez on loan, but we still have the standout youth of Drew Barney and Jack Fisher, and David Saltzman is always somebody dependable and reliable to also lead this line as well. And we're seeing some interesting action here from Ole Futsal Club, flying the keeper early on. Not something we often see from Frankie Mendoza, but he's getting some offensive action early.
Ethan Castaneda in net for Lansing City. He's going to get tested here. Actually, that one goes wide for Aaron Gomez.
And as we just went over all the lineups for both teams, one of the biggest call-outs we talked about was Jeremy Kleppel not starting. Really the first time in Lansing City, in my experience, that Jeremy Kleppel's not starting.
And he is already on the court here with Rafael Hernandez along with Drew Barney and Jack Fisher. That's the four for Lansing City currently. So they did a quick sub right at the beginning. And have we talked yet about Rafael Hernandez coming from Chicago House on loan?
Absolutely. One of the things that has been really exciting to see through the FCS Tour in Akron was the addition of Rafael Hernandez on loan from Chicago House. He's also playing with Lansing City on their USL 2 side. So it's been a great summer of action for Rafael Hernandez with all things Lansing City. Cesar Alayo was able to win back possession. Ball deflected off of Rafa Hernandez. Frankie Mendoza on the ball again to Aaron Gomez. You can see Ole Futsal Club is just feeling things out right now. It's one of the things that they are notorious for, of just settling into the game, not forcing the action, always looking for opportunities to take that extra pass. They are truly one of the teams that is the most patient in the FCS.
Left foot strike here from Gomez, blocked by Fisher. You mentioned it in the pregame, Gerard. We have a packed house here at the MSA Sports Spot.
It is exciting here. You know, they had the youth trials today, the youth ID trials, and so a lot of those players have stayed to watch these men play and really to look forward for them of what they could continue their career in futsal in the United States.
Lansing City playing out of the back. Kleppel and Hernandez taking the point for them. Pressure from Ole, a little chip down the line. Barney looking for Hernandez, goes out of bounds right around the halfway mark. And one name that's very common in the Ole mouth that we do not see dressed tonight, Sammy Esquivel.
Yep, and as we talked about earlier, Sammy Esquivel is injured tonight, so we do not know at this point if he will miss the showcase or not. Hopefully we wish him a speedy recovery because we'd love to see him at the showcase in just over a week.
His brother Lido is here as well, as we get that one come all the way over to the booth.
And speaking of Lido, he has now joined the court for the first time tonight. He's accompanied with, we have Gabe Villagomez, Marcos Real, and Cesar Martinez.
Ole chants already beginning from this heavy Grand Rapids crowd. Expect to hear that all night long. Ball into Barney. He loses it and loses his shoe once again. He loses his shoe more than anybody in the FCS.
And he's not wearing the banana shoes either, so, you know, he's already
can't blame it on
the,
can't blame it on the slippery banana peel shoes.
It looks like they got the banana peel sole, though, so I wonder if that's still a culprit.
That's the carryover right there. Here's Real. And into the middle now, the outside. Lansing City playing in a man. Beating down the sideline, Castaneda comes out. Well done from the young lad in the green.
And that's Gabe Villagomez for Ole. We did not actually see Gabe last season in the FCS. He was not rostered for them, but he's somebody that Fabian Rodriguez talks very highly about, and he has played with Ole in the past.
Foul there whistled against number 14, Jeremy Kleppel. If you did not join us for either of the tours, this might be the first time you're seeing Lansing City in that black and blue uniform. Of course, Ole in the familiar red, finding some space and quickly losing it. Lansing City on the attack. Jack Fisher, not quite on for him.
Yeah, really great opportunity there created by Lansing City on the counterattack. Nice vision from Kleppel to set up that pass to Jack Fisher. Jack Fisher shot just wide. We've yet to see Frankie Mendoza tested tonight. And honestly, Jared, that's something that we didn't see a lot from Frankie Mendoza last year. He was the league leader in save percentage, but he wasn't tested often.
And really the only game that he played nearly the entire game, or I think he did play the entire game, was the finals.
Yep.
So it was very clear when it came down to it who the number one keeper was for Ole, and we see him right there, not on the same page as Lidl Esquivel. And
yeah, and you can go, that just boils down to integrating the new player like we talked about Gabe Villagomez, integrating him into the team, and with Frankie Mendoza being a little more aggressive.
Strike from Rafael Hernandez.
And as we talk about Frankie Mendoza not getting that action, not getting the shots on him, Rafael Hernandez has a strike on goal. Nice save by Frankie Mendoza.
Corner kick for Lansing City. Hernandez gives it a go. Ball nearly goes in the trash can. New ball coming up. They'll play it into Kleppel. Pressure from the red Ole side. Hernandez gets blocked. Kleppel wants a foul. He won't get one. Out of goal and flying is Frankie Mendoza in the pink on the far side.
And it's surprising he's done that all night tonight, and that is a new formation and new tactic for Ole.
And what better time to do it in
Yeah.
FCS Exhibition here in the summer, test some things out. See him being the fifth attacker, still in that position, Lansing City in that diamond. Jonah Timblow providing that pressure up at the point. Saltzman also on the floor now for Lansing City. We see him here, and he wins it. Could there be a counter here? Ole quickly get back, and we've seen that defense from them all last year.
Yeah, it's interesting right there. We didn't see a shot on goal. Frankie Mendoza was, when you have a flying keeper, an early shot.
Whoa! Nearly for a Kleppel there.
And, you know, you have to think, if Kleppel was on that ball when Mendoza was out of goal, would he have taken that shot? Because he's no stranger to early shots. But Rafael Hernandez did not, which we've seen him sink one from half court in an international-sized court as well. And why that matters, we say international-sized court because a lot of times when you see futsal played in the United States, even at this youth ID trials, they were playing on a court that's really a lot smaller in comparison. It's like a basketball court size, whereas an international basketball court, an international-sized court is 2.5 times larger than a regulation-sized basketball court. And so that's where, when you say a shot was made from half court of an international-sized court, that's a big deal in futsal at the international level. At the, you know, if you go to a local tournament, it's really not that big a deal because it's 2.5 times smaller of a court. And so that was a big deal. Rafael Hernandez did that in the Lansing FCS tour that happened just over a month and a half ago at this point. And it was one of those just heartbreaking moments for Lansing to force extra time.
Lansing did come out on top there. And how about the pace of this game? I mean, we have had 2 tour actions. There have been newer teams there, some from the FCS, some newcomers for the FCS. But the pace that we're seeing here tonight, I mean, this is
some of the best futsal you will see in the U.S. right here. This is it, and this is why we were so excited to come.
Oh, Castaneda has to make another save. Lansing City not out of the woods yet. That one blown by Aaron Gomez. He was connecting with.
And it looks like we're going to have the first timeout of the match called by Lansing City. You can just tell the pace of this game, the intensity of this game. It does not feel like an exhibition. This intensity rivals what we saw in the FCS Championship. And no surprises, really. Like, that, for me, is exactly why I've become such a huge fan of futsal, is because it doesn't matter what they're playing for. These players come to win, especially these players from Lansing City and Olay Futsal Club. Every single time they step on the court, they are giving everything that they have.
Great time to remind you that this stream is sponsored by Ally Marketing, your friend in marketing if you're looking for a friend to help you grow your business, help you reach the people that you want to reach and serve them. Ally Marketing could be the one for you. The official marketing partner of the FCS is Ally Marketing. Ally Marketing, let's be friends. We see Lansing City in the huddle. They take the early timeout, 13-19 on the clock. What do you imagine is going on in that huddle right now, Gerard?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for Lansing City is just settling down. Olay Futsal Club is dominating possession here early, and Matt Alashar is absolutely talking to his team about how can they maintain their structure defensively and really regain some of the momentum and some of the possession, because Lansing City likes to play with possession. They are not a team that plays out of possession often, and Olay is really imposing their will so far early on in this match.
Lansing City starting from their own half. Fernandez, Kleppel, Barney, and Fisher on the floor. A giveaway. Puts J.R. Real on it. Put it back in.
Pablo Real on the ball.
And he's free. Woo! Shot nearly missing the near post. You could hear Lansing City bench and coaches trying to, well, they saw that opportunity there and were trying to get it out as Johan Vasquez slides to keep this one in the attacking zone for Olay. Shot from J.R. Real out for a corner.
And, yeah, if you're at home and you haven't seen Olay play before, you have heard Real 3 separate times. They are a set of 3 brothers, and they all play together.
What a volley from J.R. Real coming off the corner, and Castaneda is there. He's made some key saves already in this first 8 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Castaneda has consistently upped his game. He has shown that throughout last season. He did, towards the end of the season, pick up some just unnecessary red cards to miss some action. But throughout the tours, he's really established himself as a strong shot stopper.
Here is Real. Shot. Save from Castaneda. Fernandez tries to keep it from going out for a corner, but can't do so. Gomez comes up to take it. Corner comes in, it's a chip, looking for JR at the top. Lansing City now have an opportunity to counter. Can Fisher get on the end of this one, keep it in? He does for the time being, but coming back is Pablo Real. Oh, the strike off the volley from Kleppel.
Not the first time we saw a strike like that off of a volley from Kleppel. Great placement on the corner kick. Near perfect execution, but just wide.
Boy, that would have been exciting, but here's Esquivel going the other way. Kicking for Olay Futsal Club in the attacking half. Vito Esquivel takes it all the way across court to Aaron Gomez. Barney facing him up. Gomez looking for space, cuts inside, a little chip off the deflection, nearly caught Castaneda in an awkward position.
And that shows you right there why Fabian Rodriguez is so high on Gabe Villagomez. He can create space out of nowhere.
For Gomez, Aaron Gomez, who had it right before in that position. He's got 4 shots already tonight as Lidl Esquivel looks to put this one. And it's off rhythm there for Olay. Not something that we typically see.
Not at all on set pieces. And again, this is a new line. They have 2 new players on this line, and so those formation changes really is not something that you typically see from Olay.
Couple takes that one away. He has space. This could be dangerous. Great defense there. Now Olay on the break, 2v1. Castaneda. Olay wants a foul. They're not going to get one.
I was blocked at the last second by the official. I couldn't see it. It looked like fantastic defense from Kleppel to shut down that attack, but Olay did want the foul call there.
Castaneda out again. While he's out of the arc, ball comes across. Olay relentless in their pressure, trying to press through to get their first goal in the first 10 minutes here. Right there, blocked. Now here's Kleppel facing the double team. He goes down. And
first foul for Olay tonight on Villa Gomez. Anytime Jeremy Kleppel gets a set piece, it's a dangerous opportunity, but he doesn't take the shot. He gives it to Rafael Hernandez, and he puts it in the back of the net. Wow, how surprising. Jeremy Kleppel, he gets a set piece from that opportunity. It's almost always a shot, but you have an opportunity with Rafael Hernandez sneaking in behind the defense. Great layoff from Jeremy Kleppel to put it into the back of the net is Rafael Hernandez. Wow. As much as Olay Futsal Club has really dominated possession, to see themselves go down 1-0, they cannot be happy with that.
The Lansing City open up the score line off the deflection from Jonah Timblow. Kleppel Hernandez getting it in the right position. And Olay find themselves in a position, I don't know if they ever were in this position last year, being down. Were they ever losing?
They were to Detroit Imperial. There was a
correct.
Big game, and they were down 3-1.
Timblow with another opportunity. His toe poke goes wide.
And it looks like I was wrong, so you did say it came off of Timblow.
Yeah, it came off Timblow. Hernandez kind of got it across, but Timblow, I mean, he certainly made sure it got across the line. Maybe it did beforehand, but that's who I credited
well,
the
our
goal.
statistician gave it to Timblow as well, and no surprises, Rafael Hernandez getting the assist.
So first look for many of you out there probably at the tandem play between Jeremy Kleppel and Rafael Hernandez, and Timblow in the right position to finish it away. With 10 minutes gone in this first half, Hernandez gets, wow, surprised there was no whistle on that one.
Yeah, really surprising. It's one of the things that's so important when you beat your defender with some fantastic technical skill with the nutmeg right there. The defender just can't take you out.
Castaneda, important play there. He has handled the Olay pressure well. Now Hernandez in his own corner. He comes out of it, still on his foot.
Another fantastic display from Rafael Hernandez. He's quickly becoming the class of the FCS with his technical skills.
This is just the third time we've seen Rafael Hernandez in FCS action. The first 2 tours this summer being the first times, first with Chicago House, then on loan for Lansing City, where he currently is now for the summer. But Chicago House will be playing in the national showcase in a week and a half. And how excited are you to see them there?
So excited. This is not a stretch to say this. He is absolutely one of the best futsal players in the United States.
He has quickly brought himself to that position, and it will be tested even more as Chicago House has the potential to not only face Lansing City and Olay at the showcase, but also Midwest United, who made it to the semifinals last year as well. Restart coming in from Frankie Mendoza. We talk about the rarity of Olay going down a goal, but also for Lansing City, it seems that their pattern is usually to give up some goals early on and be in a hole, and it's new for them too.
Yeah, that is one of the things that has been kind of typical of some frustrating moments for Lansing City, some unforced turnovers, some errors that just lead to goals for the opposing team.
And particularly at the goalkeeper position, which are very hard to come back from. Cesar Lio goes down, not much complaint there. But Castaneda in the green, he has been everything and more so far tonight for Lansing City.
Yeah, and he's literally developing right in front of our eyes. Like we said earlier, we talked about some of those unforced errors out of the goalkeeper position specifically for Lansing City. That was one of the biggest opportunities for them in the FCS tour in Akron.
Mendoza coming out of net to provide some extra space. He's only got 4 seconds on the ball in the defending half, so he gives it up and walks across the halfway marker and will be a 5th attacker flying up in the pink. He's all the way in the corner now. Lansing City in more or less of a diamond here. Buppel not on the court, but still helping organize from the bench. Into the corner, Mendoza. Now back to Vasquez. Here's Aaron Gomez. Timbalo facing him up. This is really a moment for Ole. You know, they have the extra attacker. They're possessing the ball, trying to find a way to break down this diamond defense of Lansing City.
Yeah, it's so characteristic of Ole Futsal Club to not force shots, to really look for the best opportunity and to make that extra pass to put the ball into the back of the net, and that's exactly what they're doing right here.
Essentially a power play with Frankie Mendoza all the way up out of goal into the corner. Dangerous position if Lansing City were able to get a counterattack. Now Ole in a dangerous position, right back to Alayo. He puts it over.
Wow, what a movement between Pablo Real and Cesar Alayo. Great creativity. Cesar Alayo just a little high with that. Lansing City winning the kick in here. Aaron Gomez was going to make the officials make the call right there, not giving away possession. Jeremy Kleppel, very smart, asking for some space, give his team time to set up and, you know, just settle down for, Rafael Hernandez. Not stranger for him to take the long shot as he does right there, but Frankie Mendoza is in place to get the save. Cesar Alayo on the ball, passes off to Johan Vasquez. Pablo Real. Gomez. Ooh, another excellent play. A connection between Aaron Gomez and Pablo Real off of the crossbar. Wow. Ole is creating some opportunities here, and Lansing City needs to buckle down. Gomez on the ball.
Faced up by Kleppel. Johan Vasquez coming in with a pick. Stopped by Hernandez. Vasquez with the, I thought he was going to get a whistle there. Saw the official on the far side put the whistle into his mouth, but he held his breath.
Yeah, Gomez lost the ball, but it's one of the things, a standout player both ways for Ole. Gomez wins it back. His commitment to the defensive end is truly a hallmark of what makes Ole great.
Got to watch the back post run here. Castaneda comes out with a slide. Not getting the ball, so he will receive. We are going to get a caution for Castaneda there. Not unexpected.
A little interesting, though, because it looked like the official that made the call was not going to caution him, and then the official on the opposing side of the court looks like they said that we should, but I never actually saw a card come out. Even though,
yeah, he did. This official did he
have the card in his hand when he
did have the card in his hand? Yep. This one blown over.
So our first caution. Ethan Castaneda is no stranger to picking up disciplinary action.
Really, that's been credit to his aggressiveness, not afraid to make a mistake, and he finds himself in the right position for a kick save there.
Yeah, and you know what? Last season, those situations, he got a red card. So that shows growth right there, just picking up a yellow instead of the red.
Another shot, missing the far post there.
And Ole is just relentless in the pressure that they're putting on Lansing City right now.
And a quick apology to the viewers out there. We did not receive a full roster lineup for Ole Futsal Club, so some of these players we don't have the names for, particularly the ones that we are unfamiliar with from last year. Hopefully at halftime we'll be able to get that sorted out. Here is Rafael Hernandez. Looking into Timblow. Whistle blows. Ball went out for a kick-in. It will be Ole.
Another example right there from Marcos Real. Solid defense to not allow Jonah Timblow to do anything with the ball.
Now up out of net is Frankie Mendoza. He has it here. Across the halfway line. Now into the corner. Looking to go near post. And it's not there.
Oh, but Real wins the corner on it.
That is Marcos Real, number 8, correct?
It is,
that
yeah.
is.
Yeah, so, and sometimes it is a little confusing with the Real brothers. So Marcos is the middle brother, Jair is the oldest, and Pablo is the youngest. And you can even see it in their development as players. Jair is incredible with his ball skills, and it's really like all three of them are outstanding.
Little pick on the inside and some space. And that's a technique that, if you're unfamiliar with the game of futsal, that we see somewhat often, just kind of, standing in the way. I mean, it ends up being a pick, though it's, I think according to the rule book, I don't know that you can actually pick.
There's some debate about that, that's for sure.
Dalton trying to get through on that one, nearly coming back to the near post.
And that's Villagomez right there.
Gabe Villagomez.
Villagomez, he creates space very quickly. You have to lock him down defensively and always be ready for the shot when he's on the ball.
Now Hernandez takes a strike, blocked. Going after it again. Now Real the other way. Kleppel steps in. He wins it. Lansing City coach Matt Alishari wants to foul from behind. So does Kleppel. Sometimes you got to wonder because of his, when he gets the ball, nearly score from Jack Fisher. We're going to have a timeout from Ole after that one.
As you're saying, Jeremy Kleppel's somebody that's so strong. He's able to play through a lot of that contact. And so whereas a smaller player, somebody that's not as strong, if he gets kicked, he would fall in that situation. But we like to see players play through the contact, but we also want the officials to call the fouls, even if a player can play through it. That's what advantage is for. In that situation, we did not even see advantage given. We just saw there be no call.
And now in this case, Ole Futsal calls a timeout, but it's not their ball, right? I think that's what.
Yes, and the officials apologized. It's one of the things that just as the players make mistakes, the officials do as well. And so we do want to have grace for officiating errors, and they did apologize to Lansing City. It was too late. The timeout already has been called and given, and so they did apologize to Lansing City for that. And so at least that is commendable because no officials ever will be perfect in any game situation. What you do want to see, though, is growth. You want to see it out of the officials. And really going back to the FCS last season, it was one of the biggest call-outs in the Detroit Imperial Ole match that we did in this very same arena, that Detroit Imperial did not feel like they got a fair shake from the officiating crew in that match. And it's one of the things in this arena, will we get a fair opportunity for the opposing teams? And it's just something that is yet to be seen.
Yeah, that semifinal here was pretty poor on the officiating for much of the game. And so far today, not too many quarrels, like you said. It's, perfection is expected, though it's not, can't always, expect that. But, I mean, you have that experience as an official. You know what that's like. We have a stoppage of play here.
Yeah, so the old adage for the officiating is you are perfect from the start and you get better.
And you get better.
Yeah.
Ball inside from Fisher to Barney near the top of the arc. That chance is a no-go, and Mendoza will restart from the arc. He's going to stay in net for the time being. Ole will attack with only 4. Deflection from Fisher allows Mendoza to pick it up. Lansing City in a high-press man. We just tick under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Lansing City with the 1-0 lead here in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Villagomez on the ball, creating space.
Down goes Barney with the slip, and it's Villagomez to tie it up. We're all square here in Grand Rapids.
We have said that so many times tonight. When he gets on the ball, you have to watch out. You have to be ready because he creates space. and he takes shots. He takes shots fast and early, and he beat Castaneda top shelf. No surprises from Villagomez. He has shown his quality already tonight.
You know, we've talked about Drew Barney losing his shoes more than anyone else in the FCS. In that position, he slipped. And, you know, I don't know if it's the shoes or not, but with what we've seen him before, it very well could be. And you got to wonder at what point does it actually become a problem? Because, you know, whether that slip had to do with the shoes or not, I don't really know. But that was the key moment that gave him the space just a couple meters outside the arc.
Yeah, keeping your feet, maintaining your balance is one of the most essential components of being successful as a futsal player.
The 1-1 now, all level with just over 3 to go. A slight difference between the clock you see on your screen and the in-game clock. We're at 3:10 right now. Keep that in mind. Olay Futsal Club on the attack. Here's Lidl Esquivel. Trying to get space from Fisher. He slips. Now Rafa Hernandez going the other way. He's going quick, trying to find space. Looking around with the shot is blocked.
Really solid defense right there from Jair Riel. Look, his ball skills are what always gets him the flair and the attention. But right there, solid defensively to shut down that opportunity for Rafa Hernandez.
In comes Cesar Alayo off the bench up into the pivot spot. He's near that back post position. Also Pablo Real in, and he's got it right here, number 99. Possession and rotation for Olay. They are of the most systematic of teams in the FCS, wouldn't you say, offense and defense?
Yeah, they understand how they play. They play so well together. They are solid defensively and offensively.
And set pieces is another moment that we see the systematic nature of how Fabian Rodriguez coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it was so surprising to see the ball just get kicked out and loss of possession on a set piece. That is just very uncharacteristic of any Olay team.
Here's Johan Vasquez working with J.R. Real. Down the sideline to him. Kleppel blasts that one near the corner, and the fans have to kind of protect themselves a little bit.
If you don't know this already, if you haven't come to a live futsal match in the FCS, you have to always keep your eyes on the ball because that ball will come at you fast. We have a lot of equipment on the table, and we have to protect it viciously to make sure that it stays safe because that ball will damage it quickly.
Yeah, this iPad has already...
It has dropped a few times.
A couple of times, yep. Header off the corner away from Kleppel. All the way back to goalkeeper Mendoza. Now J.R. Real. Vasquez with a little screen. Ball in towards Alayo.
Really great idea from Jair Riel to try and sneak that in behind the defense to Alayo. Great run from Alayo. Just could not find the right weight on the pass.
Under 90 seconds in this half. 1-1 deadlock. Both teams trying to gain the upper hand before going into the locker room. Standing room only here at MSA Sports Spot in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This FCS Exhibition on a Wednesday in July. How about that?
Yeah, you know, it's just another call out to really the great community, the futsal community in Grand Rapids that Olay has created. Midwest is also another team that's created that great community here. These fans love futsal, and they come out no matter what.
And down goes Fisher. Follow-up from J.R. Real is not there. It is important to note that the majority of the fans here are from the USYF National Trials ID Trials, I should say.
That is true.
We will talk maybe more about that at half as well.
Every single match I've attended in Grand Rapids, whether it was a home game for Midwest United or for Grand Rapids, Olay, previously known Olay Futsal Club. Now, every single match, the fans come out and they always have a high level of energy and excitement. So no surprises, even with the youth ID clinic going on today.
Absolutely. Grand Rapids always shows up. Shot from Alayo, shouldered away. 38 seconds exactly on the clock. Corner kick upcoming from Olay Futsal Club. Can they push through? Alayo wants a deflection, not going to get it. Only 0.8 comes off the clock. What do you think, Gerard? Are we going to go to the locker room at a deadlock, or one of these teams going to get their second goal?
At this point, I think we're going to go in a deadlock. I can't see anybody getting another goal right now. Everybody's buckling down.
I mean, the thing is, the atmosphere feels and the way that the game is being played, it feels like a goal could happen at any moment.
At any moment. At any moment it could.
And I know that's largely true for futsal in general, but there are some games it's like you can tell both teams are pounding down the door right now. Ole has been knocking more than Lansing City, but Lansing City have had their fair share of opportunities. Shot there off the bar as we speak of it.
It's the commitment to the defensive end that we're seeing from both teams that are really creating incredible challenges. There are no open shots on goal.
Real back with it. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Bupple's there. Castaneda challenge again. And we have reached halftime at a deadlock. 1-1. Lansing City opened up the scoring first, and then Ole followed suit. What'd you think about that first half, Gerard?
Incredible. I mean, we anticipated an intense matchup in this heated rivalry, and the first half was no surprise there. The only real open goal opportunity we saw was one that Villa Gomez created on his own with Drew Barney falling and created a great opportunity, put it into the back of the net. But outside of that, both teams' defensive effort was outstanding. The only other goal we saw came off of a set piece where Jeremy Kleppel surprised everybody by not taking the shot, passing off to Rafael Hernandez. Rafa put the ball onto the frame, but then was deflected in by Jonah Timblow. And so when you take away those two small moments in time, this is a 0-0 matchup. They played so tight, the structure defensively, the way that they worked offensively, both teams together, and you can really see Ole did so much of what they wanted to do by maintaining possession. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Lansing City makes in the second half.
We're going to take a quick break, send you over to our sponsors. On the other side of the break, halftime thoughts and stats, and the kickoff just around the corner, about 10 minutes away. Don't go anywhere. You're watching FCS Live on the FCS Live YouTube channel.
Committing a crime so you can try to escape from prison. Bad idea. Going to the pod escape room to play an escape game with your friends. Great idea. Test your skill as an astronaut in outer space. Find Santa in Save Christmas. Or take a vacation to an abandoned island. Just don't get stuck there. The Pod Escape Room. Learn more at thepodlansing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MSA Sports Spot. We're here in Grand Rapids for half number 2. Lansing City and Ole Futsal Club in what was a very exciting first half, Gerard.
Yeah, absolutely thrilling first half. No surprises at all from Lansing City and Ole Futsal Club. Every single time they play, the intensity it continues to grow and grow. And so I anticipate the second half is going to be even more exhilarating.
Teams have switched sides. Lansing City in the blue and black now going left to right, and Ole in the red, right to left. Rafael Hernandez looking for an early look. It's not there for him. Ole starting with Villagomez, Martinez, Real, and Esquivel. And in net, Andres Montes with a haircut.
Yeah, Montes getting his first action in this FCS Exhibition. It's very normal for Ole Futsal Club to rotate Mendoza and Montes, and that's one of the reasons we talk about Mendoza. As great as his save percentages, you don't see him have lots of opportunity stopping shots because he splits time with Andres Montes.
Here is Esquivel on the attack, looking for some space, and Castaneda is there. Ball comes over towards the bench and the booth.
Outstanding save from Castaneda. Great control of his body, too, not to get a handball in that situation.
Yeah, that one was really close. Ole are right back at it. Saltzman on the defense. For Lansing City, it's Fisher, Saltzman, and Hernandez, the starting 4. And Ethan Castaneda still getting the call. Very interesting. You look over at the bench for Lansing City, you see someone that we saw on the other side last year.
You know, I thought we might see Joshua Pierce's first action tonight playing against his former club, Ole Futsal Club, playing with his former club, Lansing City.
All the formers for Josh Pierce. He's currently on the bench for Lansing City. Ole have possession in the attacking half. Vito Esquivel looking for the ball to be laid back off to him. He was under heavy pressure. But the attack resets. Here's Villagomez. Saltzman gets beat a little bit inside. Quick to recover. Relentless attack, it continues. Possession continues for Ole. Here's Villagomez. Oh, nearly found Cesar Martinez. Had he got it there, might have been able to turn. Still had his back to goal, but Castaneda will restart. He goes short to Rafael Hernandez. Quick pressure from Ole. Now Fisher on it. After the long diagonal, trying to get through. His way is blocked. Been finding himself on the ground quite a bit lately, both here and in the outdoor action of USL 2. Shot from Kleppel blocked. Ole possibly have a counter here, 2v2. Ball is behind Villagomez. Kleppel comes for the double. Can extinguish that attack. Corner from Ole coming up.
And no surprises whatsoever out of Ole to start the second half. They are very patient in possession. They will do whatever it takes to create an opportunity, and they will just patiently pass, move, and look for what the defense gives them as Villagomez with a shot, save with a kick save, Ethan Castaneda.
Corner kick upcoming for Ole.
A very wayward attempt on goal right there from Villagomez. For a second, I thought it was deflected, but there was not even a deflection. Oh, actually, it was a deflection. I thought it was a deflection. Yeah, I did think it was. So that's the right call.
Kleppel definitely didn't agree with you the way he reacted there.
Not the first time we've disagreed.
Not the first time, won't be the last. Johan Vasquez asking for space. See what Ole has in store here.
You know, we didn't talk a lot about Jonah Timblow right there, but great work right there to shut down that set piece and that kick in. Jonah Timblow, he's been hurt and missed a lot of action for Lansing City. This is the first time we've seen him in quite a while, and he definitely made an impact in the first half with the goal that he scored.
Lansing City on the move. Drew Barney trying to go down to the end line, not quite there.
And what Jonah Timblow brings to this Lansing City team is just a higher level of physicality. Him and Trezor Crispane are two players that they've missed a lot recently, and so that just adds another layer of physicality for Lansing City.
Here's Vasquez with it. Real, Aaron Gomez, Cesar Alayo, the 4-4, Ole. Real down the sideline. Barney steps in, bumped off of it. Real tries to sneak it through to Alayo. Corner kick upcoming for the Grand Rapids Red.
And Matt Alashar was not happy that he did not get a foul call.
Oh, that one went through the legs of Castaneda.
Look, we talk about this with Jair Real and his technical skills. He scores all of the time. He was one of the league leaders in goals last season. No surprise to see him find the back of the net. And to do it in the fashion to Meg, Ethan Castaneda finding the 5-hole. Wow, Jair Real, impressive display of skill right there.
So Ole get the advantage here in the first 5 minutes. Hernandez goes down looking for a foul. He gets one.
And, you know, just before that goal by Jair Real, we talked about Matt Alashar being upset that Drew Barney did not get the foul call against Jair Real. How much different would the game be if that foul call was called? I tend to agree with the officials, though. I think that even though there was contact, I think that was one shoulder to shoulder that no foul should have been given.
Ball just going back and forth. Oh, looks like they already had one in the corner. Extra ball is not needed. Lansing City working off the corner. Hernandez has it, sticking with it. These are Lyo stepping up. See the physical nature of the Ole futsal defense. Is it just me, or has the first 5 minutes of this half gone way quicker than the last one?
Oh, it's gone quick. Yeah, the pace of play, the ball is not going out much, so it's staying in. Because one of the things, for those unfamiliar, in futsal we play 20-minute halves, but it is a stopped clock. So anytime the ball goes out, the clock is stopped. And so when a team like Ole is maintaining possession, the clock is just running.
Yeah, Real beats a couple defenders. Castaneda has to step up. That one going to be called for Lansing City.
Really great work right there from Castaneda to come out and prevent that goal scoring opportunity.
A really small thing, but just want to take note, Castaneda played a one-touch with the outside of his foot there. That's something that we did not see the ability for all last season. And it's led to this. Jack Fisher, 1v keeper, and his is well wide.
Really a great opportunity created right there between the play of David Saltzman and Jack Fisher.
$14:40 to go in this FCS exhibition. Ole with a sub. Lido Esquivel right off the bench. They want a foul. They're not going to get it. What do you think about that one, Gerard?
I'm looking through the player, so I couldn't see if there was any contact or not. It looked like Ethan Castaneda got to the spot before Lido Esquivel did, and so at that point I would agree with the no call.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't even get contact. I think that was all for show.
I would not be surprised. Lido Esquivel is a crafty veteran, so he would not be one that would trick me into creating some unnecessary foul calls.
Couple with a 1v1 double comes now. Bounces over to Hernandez. His touch is a little too far. Trying to create space down the sideline. We have not seen Andres Montes come out of net and fly like we saw Mendoza in the first half.
You know, and that is a little surprising because Montes is actually the one that flew more last season.
Maybe that's why they wanted to do it with Mendoza. Maybe he's had less reps with it, or maybe they wanted to work on something. They do have the lead, though, here now. And when they were doing that, I believe they were down a goal. So that may be playing into it as well.
They really did it the whole first half, though. It was something that very early in the game they just started doing it. So I think tactically they just wanted to try it.
Dangerous play here. Coming across, Jack Fisher is there to block off Cesar Martinez, or else he would have had.
And Jack Fisher, he's using some of those defensive skills he's garnering in the USL2 playing as a defender.
Yeah, had he not been there, Cesar Martinez would have collected that ball, drank a cup of tea, and still had time to watch the evening news before he put that one in.
And there's no way Martinez doesn't finish that.
Corner kick up coming for Lansing City. Fisher on it. Chip coming across. Barney chasing it down. Going to go inside. Runs right into the double of Esquivel. And we're seeing that many times when Lansing City, whether it's Kleppel or Hernandez, trying to create some space. In that case, it was Fisher. Ole is able to kind of come over and double to make that really difficult.
Castaneda, another great decision to come out. That really is one of his biggest strengths, is understanding when to come out and be aggressive and attack the ball.
He's got 11 saves to his name, and several more times where he's had to come out, really didn't get credit for his save, but has affected the play. And that's a really big difference. I mean, if you look at Lansing City's play all last season, even into the tours, the goalkeeper play is a huge factor. And on games where the goalkeeper excels, Lansing City does well, and the games they don't, it makes it really hard. Tonight we're seeing great play from Castaneda as Timblow will win a corner.
Yeah, really outstanding pass right there from David Saltzman even to create that opportunity.
Ball comes in, Kleppel with some space, finding Hernandez. Montes has to come out. Looked like it might have caught his hand. He was right on the edge of the arc there. Great play from him coming out.
Villa Gomez showing some nifty ball moves to work through the Lansing City defense, but could not make anything come out of it.
And a faulty kick-in. Ball was not on the line for Timblow and Lansing City. Subs upcoming for both sides, I believe. Andres Montes across half, flying as a fifth attacker. Villa Gomez on the far side. Lansing City in a diamond zone. Sort of a penalty kill, and Montes gets the word from Rodriguez to get back in net. Villa Gomez shot just outside the net.
He is showing very quickly that he is a special player. It does not take him long to create opportunities or to make space for himself and to put it on frame. Just a little wide right there. But just to create the opportunity out of nothing is really a testament to his ability.
3 pairs of fresh legs in for Ole, Real, and Gomez. Kicking for Ole right here next to us. And the referees are disagreeing.
Yeah, it looks like we're having some confusion here about whose ball it is. And what a display of great sportsmanship from Jeremy Kleppel. He did go let the officials know that he did kick the ball out.
I think maybe that was a little more out of frustration. He felt like it was a very clear.
It probably was. But, ultimately one of the old adages is if players were honest, there would be no need for officials.
Lansing City in a high press. Real trying to get it out. Kept in. Defended well by Lansing City. Saltzman now starting the attack. Lansing City in that 4-0. Fisher inside to Saltzman. Nothing comes of it. It's about halfway through the second half here. Ole Futsal Club with the 2-1 lead over Lansing City.
Oh, Saltzman with the win. Great defense. Ooh.
And hey, we got the wave
Pablo
going on
Real.
here.
Yeah, we got the wave going on. Pablo Real shut down that attack from David Saltzman. We haven't said his name a whole lot tonight, but Saltzman's somebody that always brings an incredible level of energy to every single match he plays in. So no surprise to see him creating some opportunities defensively there.
Saltzman's an absolute workhorse for Lansing City. Played goalkeeper a lot, actually. We see him on the ground a fair amount. Now Kleppel with the 1v1 space in the outside, left foot strike. Montes is there, and that was exactly where he needed to be.
Yeah, massive saves from Montes. We talked a lot about Frankie Mendoza and his outstanding shot stopping, but Montes is also in his own right, a great goalkeeper as well.
That ball goes out for Ole. They play it in comfortably, facing some pressure from Lansing City. Long diagonal to Johan Vasquez, breaking the line. And not on the same page are Gomez and J.R. Real. Couple up the line, into the bench. New line getting ready to go for Ole. 2 players already in. Aaron Gomez on the run with Pablo Real. Force back to Lito Esquivel. Now inside, just off the mark for Aaron Gomez. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. Kind of some balls being played a little bit off, and I feel like we didn't see that very much in the season, where the ball is just maybe just a hair outside.
Just a hair off, yeah. You know, and that's one of the things. So Ole, this is an exhibition game for them. We don't know how much they've played. I'm for sure have practiced a lot, but this is a great opportunity just for them to get back into game shape and to get some of those little kinks ironed out so that they're on the same page and they can get that crisp passing that they're used to.
Timblow finding Barney. A dangerous play there. And a quick turnover. Barney inside. Fisher tries to go inside, cutting back, and it's not there. Real, the brick wall. Something I've been seeing a lot of, and maybe it's tough to see on your screen at home, but there's a lot of play kind of like off the ball when players are running through, offensive and defensive. It's pretty physical out there. Oh, Jack Fisher here. Surely he can finish it. He does. We're all square here in Grand Rapids.
Wow. What an opportunity created out of nothing by Jack Fisher. He wins the ball, creates the 1v keeper situation, and then finishes it with class. Wow, Jack Fisher, solid play, doing it all himself right there.
So 2-2 now, 9 minutes to go, and Gerard, we're shaping up for another exciting finish between these two teams.
Yes, every time they play, it is always one of the most exciting matchups, really, of any season that we've been a part of.
Woo! Villa Gomez nearly responding. Left foot strike, just a little bit wide. Actually, that was much wider than I thought, I guess. Ended up being a kick-in. Uh-oh, this is trouble for Lansing City. Castaneda has to come out. A little bit behind Villa Gomez. Cesar Martinez now. Kleppel's on the back. Was that Saltzman that got to it?
Wow. Yeah, incredible defensive commitment,
yep.
Both from Kleppel and Saltzman to protect the goal, because Castaneda found himself in a very uncomfortable position being far away from the goal.
Well done from Saltzman on that. Corner kick comes up to the top for Ole. Here's Real. Back to Esquivel, switching the point of attack. Villa Gomez, faced up by Kleppel, is outside of the foot into Martinez, well off the mark. Pass needed to restart. He goes short to Rafael Hernandez. Trying to beat Martinez on the dribble. He gets hit down and grabbed. Lansing City get one there. They go quickly. Saltzman, Kleppel, Hernandez, Fisher on the court for Lansing. Ball over the top, Lansing City. Kleppel and Hernandez not on the same page. Substitute coming in. Barney on the floor now. Villa Gomez with possession. Wow, I just feel like the tense.
Yeah, there's so much tension in the air right now. Only 7 minutes left. And like we talked about earlier, is every time these two teams come together, it doesn't matter if they're playing for a playoff spot, if it's an exhibition match, it doesn't matter what stakes are on the line. Both teams are given everything to win.
Whoa, Fisher protecting that one from getting all the way to Martinez. And as you mentioned it, the last 2 times these teams played, it was Lansing City's playoff spot on the line. They did drop it. Ole had already secured their spot, but they came to win anyways. And here we are in a 2-2 draw. Olay Futsal Club have not lost in the FCS yet. This is an exhibition. Whether that counts toward the official records or not, obviously not for a season, but in any kind of FCS play, they have not dropped a game.
Yeah, undefeated. So they have drawn once with Midwest United, at least in my experience with the FCS. Or really in Olay history, I have yet to see them drop a game.
Lansing City will call a timeout. Next dead ball, shot off the bar from J.R. Real. That was nearly number 3. Lansing City not out of the woods yet. And J.R. Real with the follow-up. 3-2 Olay.
You absolutely cannot give Jair Real that many opportunities. After hitting the crossbar for the second time tonight, he puts that one into the back of the net for his second goal tonight. So he's finished twice, and he's hit the crossbar twice. He's literally inches away from having 4 goals tonight.
So just 2 minutes after Lansing City draw even, Olay go ahead. And the more this game goes on, the more it's shaping up to be an amazing finish. Barney gets hit, and he is going to get the foul.
Actually, it does not look like it.
Yep.
Is he getting a foul?
Yep, he is.
Okay. One of the differences to know if they call a foul or not is if they put the left hand down, and I didn't see it. Sometimes our angle, maybe there was the left hand out, but I did not see the hand down.
Ball coming across to Hernandez. His toe poke. Montez is there with the kick save. I think Lansing City got the look they wanted there.
Yeah, one of the things that as much as Olay has some great opportunities created off set piece, Lansing City also does a great job on their set piece plays as well.
Corner kick, chip coming for Kleppel, and he misses. Would not have scored with a goal on top of a goal on that one. Possession in the back for Olay with the 1-goal lead. Down the line goes J.R. Real. Tim Blow chasing. Draws Kleppel up as well. Now Cesar Alayo. Does the 1-goal advantage change how Olay Futsal Club plays right now?
Not at all. They are a team that is so consistent with how they play. You're going to see the same level of possession, orientation, and patience from Olay, whether they're up by a goal or down by 2.
Do you think that they take any less risks in this position?
I don't think so, no. I think they would play exactly the same way. I think that's a testament to really their discipline as a team.
Header from Kleppel and Alayo. Alayo wants a foul. He's not going to get one. Kleppel hits it on to Rafael Hernandez. Rafael Hernandez has made a big difference for the Lansing City side today. Playing with Kleppel in the back here. He carries it up, draws the double team, tries to go inside. Smack to the ground, no call. Giveaway back to Lansing City. Five minutes to go. Olay with the 1-goal advantage here. Grand Rapids. Up with the strike. Montez leaping. But it's outside the frame.
We talk about Villa Gomez creating space out of nowhere. That is what Kleppel is known for, creating space out of nowhere, just like he did right there. Lansing City is calling a timeout here. They want to take advantage of these last 5 minutes and really make sure that they are on the same page tactically.
Before we discuss what's to come here in the last 5 minutes, we have to shout out the National Showcase coming at you next weekend, July 11th, 12th, and 13th, the premier futsal event of the summer. The likes of Lansing City Olay Futsal Club, Midwest United, Chicago House, and more, including our first look at Shoreline City.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting weekend for sure. if you're not making plans to come out of Lansing City, make them now. And if you can't get out there, tune in on FCS, because the last couple of tours, we got our first introduction to teams like Chicago House and Innovation out of Akron. And now we're going to see Shoreline. And to think about how this sets us up for next season with the FCS. But more importantly, we get to see Olay, Midwest United, and Lansing City back in action again. And we have seen some incredible matchups from those teams. And it will be a futsal-packed weekend extravaganza.
And you are definitely not going to want to miss that action, including, I do believe, schedule has not been released, but I do believe insider information we are going to see Olay and Midwest rematch in the group stage.
Wow.
That is to come next weekend, July 11th through the 13th at the Lansing City Arena in Lansing, Michigan, also here on FCS Live. Now back to what's in front of us, Gerard.
4.5 minutes to go.
Lansing City down a goal with possession. Neither team letting up on the defense. We talked about the tension in the atmosphere. Timeout kind of added a little bit of a breather, but I mean, whew, you can still feel that excitement, and just it's like just any moment something can happen, and you're just on the edge of your seat, on your toes, ready for it. Olay the other way with a counter. Cesar Alayo denied by Castaneda.
Not many keepers are making saves against Cesar Alayo 1v keeper situations.
Castaneda in a great position there. Here's J.R. Real, face up by Hernandez. Double comes, he's forced backwards. Gomez with space. Now Vasquez. Lansing City in a man. Rafael Hernandez locked in. You see how he's defending there? He didn't look at the ball until he was looking at his eyes. Wow.
Yeah, what a great matchup right there. Rafael Hernandez, Jair Real.
Long one for Lansing City. Not able to be controlled by Saltzman.
You know, it's one of the things we don't talk much about Rafael Hernandez's defense, because he's so great of an asset offensively with his creativity, with his goal scoring, but he's showing his lockdown skills right there against Jair Real.
Turn from Alayo off the pick from Vasquez. Nothing there. Olay reset. Real looking at diagonal to Gomez. Lansing City defense is there. Corner up coming for Olay. Real, Johan Vasquez. Aaron Gomez, Cesar Alayo, the 4 for Olay. This one comes out to Real. He gets some space. The right palm of Castaneda saves it from going near post. Olay still threatening. How about that glove save?
Ooh,
well,
Castaneda's
palm
coming up
save,
big
no
time.
gloves.
Yeah, no gloves at futsal. Castaneda showing up big time tonight, keeping Lansing City in this match.
They're still down one. They need one in the next 3. On the other side, Olay looking to add a cushion, because as much as uncomfortable as you can get with a 1-goal lead, I'd say futsal is probably the most uncomfortable sport to have a 1-goal lead in.
Yeah, goals can be scored quick and fast in futsal, so a 1-goal lead is never safe until the last seconds.
Vito Esquivel in the back. Little chip into the pivot. Martinez, he plays it back. No rush for Olay. Playing calm. Last thing you want if you are the Grand Rapids Red is a mistake to give away an easy one.
You know, it's one of the things we can say about Olay, too. They do not make mistakes often.
Fisher wins that one. Lansing City on a break. Olay defenders getting back. Whoa! Rafael Hernandez! Oh, my! Wow!
What a shot. Top right corner. Incredible placement. There's no way Montez can get to that ball. Rafael Hernandez, he's showing why we said what we did earlier about his quality and really what he brings to the table being on loan from Chicago House.
Wow, it's a 3-3 game here with 2 minutes to go. It might take a second to find some words after that one, Gerard.
Yeah, just an impressive display. You know, at this point, I'm no longer surprised by Rafael Hernandez's ability to score from anywhere on the court, and he shows it once again right there.
Down goes Martinez, and he's going to get called for the handball. He wanted the call. He's having a word with the official. He's still talking with him. Olay restart. 90 seconds to go. Do we get any kind of extra time in this exhibition if need be?
Well, I know both teams would want it. Big stop right there. Big play by David Saltzman and Ethan Castaneda to lock it up and prevent the goal from Villa Gomez.
Olay bench up in arms. They wanted a foul.
They did want the foul. It's tough to see that there was contact on it. It looked like a great defensive play.
Now J.R. Real in a dangerous position near the top of the arc. Left foot strike. Castaneda says no. Back to Real. 1:10 on the clock. Villa Gomez now. His shot gets through.
Wow!
It gets through. 4 on the board for Olay.
What a shot. Villa Gomez, we've talked about it so many times tonight. He just creates space out of nowhere. Like there's 4 bodies in between him and the goal, and somehow he gets the ball in. Just how in the world is Ethan Castaneda supposed to stop that thing? You got 3 Lansing City bodies in front of you. Villa Gomez puts it right on frame. Great placement, great opportunity.
And with nearly just 60 seconds to go as we are under that now, a 1-goal game. Are there any more in store for us here at the FCS Exhibition on a July Wednesday? Kleppel strikes. Oh! Montez gets there.
Montez with the save. Kleppel just firing a rocket in there. How in the world did Montez see that thing coming through?
Olay very disappointed at this call. They didn't think it was a corner. They saw something
Montez
we did
got
not.
the save, yeah.
I thought so too. They were clearly upset about it. Kleppel now with the double team. His attempt down the line, not there. Fisher comes in, forces the giveaway. 30 seconds. Lansing City have to go now. Fisher to the middle, not there. Montez scoops it up. 22 to go. Olay with a 1-goal advantage. They're going to try to go to the corner. Cesar Martinez to Villa Gomez. Castaneda's there. Barney's there. 10 seconds to go. J.R. Real brings it down. Villa Gomez keeps it in. 6 seconds. Lansing City pressing. Lito Esquivel is going to see the final seconds off the clock. Olay Futsal Club take it by a goal.
You know, it's one of the things, there's a little bit of words being shared between Lansing City and Olay Futsal Club right now. Jeremy Kleppel played till the final whistle. Olay was not happy about how hard he went into that challenge when Lito Esquivel was just trying to kill the clock off. It looks like Andres Montez comes in as the peacemaker in the situation, cooling off the situation because this is a heated rivalry and it can explode very quickly.
How about that? The treat of a game we were given.
There's no way you can step away from this and think that this was an exhibition match, the way that these two teams just played.
Yeah, absolutely. What players stick out in your mind from that match, Gerard?
Well, look, we spent all last season talking about how incredible Jair Real was, so clearly, you know, no surprises there. But 2 players that we didn't get to talk about a lot last season, Gabe Villagomez and Rafael Hernandez. And Rafael Hernandez, he didn't really surprise us. He showed us more of what we expected out of him tonight. But Gabe Villagomez showed really quickly how much of an asset he can be to this Olay Futsal Club. Because when you talk about a team as deep as them, to have a player that we really had little experience with prior to tonight come in and have the impact that he had, that speaks volumes about the quality that he brings to the table.
You're talking about Hernandez, right?
Villagomez.
Oh, Villagomez.
For Ole Futsal Club.
Right.
We already knew Rafael Hernandez. Look,
I thought I heard you say Hernandez.
I still think Rafael Hernandez is one of the best futsal players in the entire United States.
That shot, oh my gosh.
Yes.
We had the perfect vantage point right
Unbelievable.
here. That was
And it's not just the offensive ability creating goals.
Wow.
It's him setting up other players for goals as well, which we didn't see a lot of that tonight, but he did get the assist to Jonah Timblow. And then also it's his defensive commitment. But again, going back to Gabe Villagomez, he's not somebody that we knew a lot of. We had talked to Fabian Rodriguez, so we knew how excited Fabian Rodriguez was for him to play. But now seeing him in action, so much of what Ole Futsal Club does from top to bottom is how talented they are. And you just add one more component to that team that can play at the level he can, and, watch out because it's going to be another tough season for the teams in FCS.
A man who stuck out to me in the green between the pipes, Ethan Castaneda. He was everything Lansing City needed him to be tonight to keep them within striking distance, and he had some phenomenal saves tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He was fantastic in goal. He ended up with 14 saves. Just an incredible effort, and it wasn't just the save. So one of the biggest things that he did tonight was his awareness and understanding of when to come out, when to be aggressive and attack the ball. He shut down a number of situations that would have almost been for sure goals in 1v keeper situations, but he was so aggressive that he prevented the shot from even happening.
You talked about J.R. Real from Ole Futsal Club. He had 14 shots on the night, spent a lot of time with the ball at his foot. You also talked about Villagomez, 9 for him. The 2 goals coming from Villagomez, also 2 from Vasquez and 2 from Real. That's not quite right.
Johan Vasquez did not get any goals.
So it's just
tonight.
Villagomez and Real.
Villagomez.
And on the other side, it was Rafa Hernandez, Jack Fisher, Jonah Timblow. The 3 goals for Lansing City. And Gerard, if that has any indication of the type of play we are going to see at the National Showcase, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most appealing factors of futsal is just the level of intensity that the players bring to every single match. There was nothing on the line here. This was just a game in which 2 teams from Lansing and Grand Rapids come together to play, but they put on a tremendous display for all of the fans here locally in Grand Rapids and everybody watching at home.
And we had mentioned before about a lot of the fans we had here were from the USYF National Trials camp. We had a chance to kind of see what was going on with that when we walked in here. I haven't been able to talk with anyone from that organization today to kind of hear more about it, but I got to be honest, when I walked in, I was pretty disappointed to see 3 very small courts in what's supposed to be like a premier youth futsal event for the United States.
This is really the difference between what people understand futsal is in the United States compared to what futsal is across the world.
This was like the contrast.
What we just saw tonight with this game was what futsal is to everyone internationally.
And this is like the minimum.
And this is the minimum because this isn't even the full international size court. And you can see having a bigger court to work with, Ole was able to show their quality on the ball. They were able to maintain possession and create opportunities, and then that puts Lansing City in a position where they have to maintain structure defensively. Whereas when you look at what the teams were playing on for the youth ID session, they were playing on these courts that were smaller than basketball courts. They were not international size. They were not even regulation size courts. And what ends up happening is just fast break kind of like offense in basketball where nobody's really playing defense. There's no real structure. There's no real plays happening. There's no development of offense. There's no real tactics. It's just try to put the ball into the back of the net. That's it. That's literally all you're trying to do. And it's not attractive to watch. It's not attractive as a fan. And so many people in the United States, they will come to these events and they watch futsal and they think, oh, this is futsal. Not attractive, not appealing. I don't want to do
this
it.
game.
But this game right here. Wow. And this is what.
Lansing City and Ole, this is the story.
Yeah. Every time they play, it is just like this.
Yeah.
Every single time they play. So really no surprises. Sadly for Lansing City, every time they play, it does end with an Ole win.
Ole maintains that clean
Ole
FCS
does.
record.
Yeah, and I still look. I know I do not have the opportunity to see every team play across the nation, but as of right now, Ole is the only team that is making the statement that they're the best team in the country, and they continue to do it every time they show out. Really, for me, it's like that's what they're playing for. They're playing for their reputation to show that they are the best. Because if you talk to any of these players, you will know that they are here to paint Grand Rapids red, because we have Midwest United, which is another really strong team, which is blue. So they're here to paint it red. But if you talk to Jair Riel, it's wins and goals. Wins and goals, that's their expectation every time they come out to play.
And they did paint it red last year, and they have continued to do so. Another Grand Rapids team going to come into the FCS next year.
Two.
Well, one that's close by.
One and a half.
And one of those teams, Shoreline City, we can't end this broadcast without talking about what is to come in a week and a half. It is the Futsal Champions Series National Showcase. Gerard, get everyone watching at home excited for this one.
Look, 3-day event. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is going to be action-packed weekend. We have some incredible talent, and if you have not had a chance to watch any of the FCS season last year or any of the FCS tours, this is the perfect opportunity for you to tune in and watch. Come to Lansing City. If you're anywhere in the area, come for one of the days. But if you can make it on Sunday for the final, I anticipate we're going to see Ole Futsal Club in the final. But
calling it right now.
Yeah, calling it right now. Ole Futsal Club. I mean, how can we think any other team's going to end up in the final outside of Ole? And depending on who shows up, Midwest United has been another team that has consistently shown a high level of talent. So if you can circle your calendar for any matches to watch, that's the first one that jumps out. You said it already, Ole Futsal Club, Midwest United.
Supposedly it might be a leak right now. I don't know.
Well, so maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if you see that game, make plans to watch it, tune in, because it will be an all-out rampage for bragging rights of who is the best team in Grand Rapids.
3 days of futsal, nearly 20 hours to be played between July 11th and the 13th, coming up next weekend at the Lansing City Arena. That is going to do it for us here at MSA Sports Spot here in Grand Rapids. Jared Kleppel, Gerard Escani, from all of us at the FCS Live team, thanks for tuning in. And we hope to see you next time, right here or in person, for the next Futsal Champions Series event. Good night.
Committing a crime so you can try to escape from prison. Bad idea. Going to the pod escape room to play an escape game with your friends. Great idea. Test your skill as an astronaut in outer space. Find Santa in Save Christmas. Or take a vacation to an abandoned island. Just don't get stuck there. The Pod Escape Room. Learn more at thepodlansing.com.